go. All right, we're at about 9 o'clock. So we'll go ahead and get started with a quick mortgage update with Andrew. How we looking in
Hey, good
the
morning,
mortgage
everybody.
realm of things?
So, I'd say, today's rates are looking, I'm running, as normal on Monday, I run a scenario. My buyer has 700 credit score. They make about 12 grand a year, or I'm sorry, a month. They're buying in the, San Diego's, average home price is about 800K. So their loan's going to be 750. 700 credit score, as I said. I'm looking at conventional loans, conventional ARMs, so which we're starting to see become more popular. FHA as well, and everything's in the fives, just flat out. Now, if this guy had a higher credit score, we might see something from this batch just under 5. But at 700 right now, with the way rates are, that's going to be about it. It doesn't seem to be slowing anything down for loan apps, these rates. We're definitely losing some buyers due to qualifications of them having to limit their purchase price and a lot of homes not being in that purchase price from what they were looking at 4 or 5 months ago. That's it's just the fallout from this scenario. We're way above what anybody thought already. So we might see something in the 6s up until June, leading up to that way. And then hopefully if the experts in our industry that have made suggestions and predictions, that we'll start to see things drop. Rates will drop as they see kind of hopefully getting in control of inflation. But today rates are in the 5s. What I would suggest is when you're talking to clients, talk about potentially doing some type of an ARM loan. If they're interested, they will get a better rate, and they'll have anywhere from 5 to 10 years to either sell and get into a new house and mortgage, or refi if they end up staying there. And we'll see different rates. We'll definitely see lower rates in a year or two for sure. So having an ARM right now to maximize their income and save as much money as possible up front on their rate and qualifications, it makes sense to talk about ARMs. Normally, a year ago, if anyone was talking about an ARM, I'd say that was a shady lender at that point, because it was just not necessary. But this particular tool is definitely a valuable option for people as well. So rates are in the 5s. They could still climb. It's definitely volatile, but I would, in your conversations, talk about ARMs. If you want to know more about how an ARM works, what's involved with that, please reach out to me. Be happy to have a conversation with you. You guys have a great day.
Awesome. So with that said, I mean, with these rates climbing, if you have a buyer you've been working with for, a couple months now, you might want to just double check on their pre-approval, because their price point may have dropped a little bit. So especially if they're kind of at their top of their price range or something. So be proactive with that, and definitely keep your pre-approvals updated.
Yeah, speaking on that, so that's actually a lot of what I've been doing is second looks. But as an example right now, so I'm looking at this one chart. So this particular loan at 750K, principal and interest would be about $4,000 at 5%. So let's say someone was qualified at, I don't know, 3.5%. That drops down. The difference in that payment is almost $700. That's 2 car payments that, a typical family might have, the difference between those 2 rates. So, if you were qualified at 3.5%, the lender as well as the real estate agent are probably saying, look, you don't buy anything, you're where you're at. If you go and buy a new car, you're going to ding your credit and you're going to add $350. Well, this rate, like I said, the difference between 3.5 and 5, it's like 2 car payments added onto your mortgage. So there's definitely people that are being affected by that. And a second look is a lot of what I've been doing lately, because if your buyer isn't talking with their lender on a regular basis and you go into contract using an outdated pre-approval, there's a good chance that you guys run into some big problems in escrow. So if you do have people that are maybe in this scenario, I'm happy to do a second look for you.
Awesome. Yeah. So we do these mortgage updates just to keep everybody informed, kind of what we're seeing, in the mortgage market. It does affect us as, real estate agents as well, and enables you to, have a decent conversation with your current cast of buyers and sellers. So with that, today we have Leo with Unique Digital Marketing. He runs actually all of our marketing here at the company. We've been working together for quite a while. He's really good at what he does. He works with a lot of other companies and genres as well. So he's pretty well versed in marketing all around. Today, we branded it as, become that local celebrity real estate agent. Today, we're talking about branding, how to create brand awareness, and how it can reinforce maybe some other advertising that you're doing. So Leo's going to go over kind of some simple steps with getting started with, getting your name out in your community in a very, very cost-effective manner, and then how to use that audience that you build with other business that you're doing, as far as, your sales, your recent sales, your coming soons, all that kind of stuff. So with that, we will turn it over to Leo.
Yeah,
Morning,
thank you,
Leo.
Travis. I don't know if you can unlock the video. I'll hop on video. It says host is disabled.
Host is disabled, so you can't share your screen?
I can't start my video, but that's fine.
Here.
Let me see if that works. Oh, here we go.
There you go.
I'm
All
live.
right, cool.
Awesome. Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Thank you, Andrew, for that mortgage update. And with Andrew continuously giving those Monday morning mortgage updates, what Andrew probably doesn't realize what he's doing is he's creating awareness. He's being top of mind every week. He's being the expert, the local expert. And pretty soon, like, we're building good rapport with Andrew because he's just showing up consistently. And
to be clear, I am the local expert. I'm not being him for 5 minutes every Monday morning.
Yeah, exactly. So this kind of ties into what we're going to be talking about, is how can you show up to a new audience and continuously show up to showcase your expertise, not try to look like you're an expert, but actually be the expert and continuously show up. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Awesome. Get this made up. And I need to hide this. There we go. So yeah, what we're going to be talking about is just how to become a local celebrity realtor. And a lot of that comes into mind is, well, when you think about a celebrity realtor, you think about a celebrity that's known in your community. And what does that look like? Well, it looks like Ryan Serhant. He's always up there. For those of you that don't know him, he was on $1 Million Listing, New York, has his own brokerage, one of the top producers pretty much in the nation. And what he does really well is he's all over social media. He has his own show. He just knows how to market himself. And he even sells like a marketing course. But that's besides the point. What we're going to be talking about is, how can we fill these shoes? How can we become the Ryan Serhant of your neighborhood? So what we're just going to cover is, how do we even build awareness? Where's the first step of the process that we start building awareness? What type of content should we be creating at what points? What you do after someone watches your video or your content. So after someone views your content, where should you be taking them to? Should it be a landing page? Should it be a lead form? Should it be, just follow me? Like there's a lot of different things. Call me. Here's, I'm just going to spew all my contact info and, hope that they contact one of them. And also, what kind of ads should you be placing in front of them at any given point in time? So it really, what we're going to do here is we're just going to break it down in a systematic way to kind of show you from A to Z what should kind of be the focus on any given part of that funnel process that you're looking to build for your brand. So when you're building a brand, it all starts with the number one thing, which is the awareness. So with awareness, you're just really just trying to put your arm in front of the right people, waving them up in the air and say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. I could possibly help you. So in this step, we just need to make sure that we're introducing ourselves, and there should be no hard selling in this step. And I used the wrong there. I hate doing that kind of stuff, but there should be no hard selling in the step. So the very first thing in an awareness is actually running like an awareness campaign. So a campaign where you're creating a video, and it doesn't have to be this high production masterpiece that's, edited by someone like Steven Spielberg. It just needs to be pick up your phone. Everyone probably has a decent phone, either an Android or an iPhone, and you'll be able to just create a video introducing yourself. And a good sequence to kind of create this video in is like, hey, hi there, my name's Leo Luna, and I'm a realtor in whatever area you're serving. I'm a realtor in Orange County, and I help, people. I maybe do a case study that you've done, like, hey, I was just able to get this family into a home that otherwise wouldn't have qualified or wouldn't have been, whatever the scenario is. There's a ton of different scenarios, but just saying your story, that way we get an engaged audience to listen to the video. And I'll explain why that's important in a moment, but you want them to listen to the video. And you'll also want them to, at the very end, have a soft call to action that isn't telling you, call me today. That isn't saying, email me if you're ready to sell your home. This is actually a very, very important step because we want to make it non-confrontational. We don't want to be selling them. We just want them to come into our ecosystem. So, hi, I'm Leo Luna. I'm a local realtor in Orange County. And what I do is I help families get into their next home, as well as help them, sell any properties that they're looking to sell, or they just want to know what the current market is. I've been able to help X and X clients, get so much stuff. In today's market, we're really unsure, just something like that. You can probably do a way better video with the information that you have. But the very end of that video is like, if you want to stay up to par with what's going on in the industry or in the market, just go ahead and drop me a follow or hit a like button. You can definitely perfect that. If you found this video useful, you can hit that like button and follow me for more information. So we're just creating that awareness, and we want to have some type of call to action, but we don't want to make it so hard of like, you need to call me if you're looking to sell. That comes later down in the funnel. So what we're just doing here is creating awareness. So
that could be maybe like a like and follow for, weekly mortgage updates or something like that.
Exactly.
Is what you would want to say. Yeah. Okay.
So this is where we kind of reiterate what we say. So we created a video views campaign. So you're actually going to go into, and this is catered more towards Facebook, but this could be anywhere. This could be on YouTube. YouTube. So when you create a YouTube video, you can run a YouTube video that's just trying to get it out there, like a reach campaign, more for branding. And then you just tell them, just go ahead and visit my website and take a look around. And then once they go to that website, you can use the Facebook pixel and remarket them into Facebook or, TikTok or whatever platform is of your choosing. But we're just going to focus on Facebook right now because it's very simple. There's the most amount of people. There's 2.5 billion users. Chances are your ideal client's going to be on Facebook before anything else. So you want to create a video views campaign, and it's very simple to do. You just open the ad manager, create a video views campaign, pop a video in there, add a little bit of, ad copy in there. Very simple. It doesn't have to be this hard sell. serving Orange County and LA area, put your license number information on there. And that's pretty much it. The video is going to do all the talking. So like I said, who you are, what areas you serve, quick valuable tip, and ask them to like and follow for more real estate tips. So
I see some, I'm seeing if this qualifies with the awareness campaign that you're running. So sometimes you see, an image of maybe a brokerage or an image of the city, and it's a posting from a local real estate office or local realtor, and it just says, we love Carlsbad, like and follow if you do too. And then that's really all it is. And so, but you'll see a ton of likes on it and things like that. Maybe even some comments. You can tell they've been running it for a number of months, maybe even just continuously forever. So is that what they're doing? Is they're just gathering likes and follows?
Yeah, they're trying to build their audience to remarket to.
Yep.
So that's a great example. And what's awesome is these video views get the best. These video, he's just excited about selling.
Yeah.
So these video views are great because they're really affordable to run on Facebook. You can literally get a video view for like 3 cents a view, 2 cents a view. They're really, really cheap to run, and you can really expand your audience to a level that just kind of blows up over 2 weeks. Like you can literally run a campaign for like 2 weeks for like $20, $10 a day. Start off kind of hefty so you can build it pretty quickly. And then for the long term, you can run it for like $5 a day. And you kind of have something in the backbone. And I'll explain more of it in a little bit once we go over the different like tiers of how this is set up. But really what makes it important is you have that open top of funnel, right? And that top of funnel is just getting people aware of who you are. We're trying to build a know, like, and trust factor, because before anyone makes a commitment to anyone, they're not going to do it on one interaction. It's very hard for someone to commit on one interaction. So what we do is we create multiple touch points so we can actually show the client or the prospect that you're going to be able to be know, like, and trust. I call it KLT or KTL. No, like, trust. Yeah, KLT. I always get those letters mixed up. So what we do here is once we have the video views campaign, like I said, $10 a day is great to start off with. And then you just kind of lower it as soon as you build your audience. You can get thousands of people in there. I forget what the numbers are looking like, but they're kind of like, you can get like 1,000 people for like $5 to watch your video. And it's very affordable. Now what you do is you kind of go into the tier 2 side of things. So tier 1 is the video views, just running a video views campaign to build your brand. And then tier 2 is now we're going to start building our audience and remarketing our content to them. And when I say content, I mean like the next set of ads that are actually going to have the call to actions of like a lead form or some type of opt-in to join your email list. So when we build your audience, you're going to basically go into Facebook and there's a little button in there that says audience, and you're just going to click it. And then basically when you click that, you're going to create a custom audience, and you would select the video. And then once that person, or once you have that video on there, what's going to happen is you just create that audience based on a video. And you can set it to, say you want to target people that are really engaged in that video, you can do a 75% watch time. So anyone that watched that video for 75% of it and above is going to be retargeted. I don't like to do 75%. I found pretty good success off of like 10%. So like maybe 10, 20 seconds in the video. As long as they started watching that video over like 5 to 10 seconds, they're a good enough prospect for me to remarket to. And that really gives you a bigger audience that you can really start targeting. So what you do is you click on that button, select the video, and then it would basically have a drop-down menu that you pick the video that you want to choose from, and then set the criteria of, I want 5 to 10 seconds or 10 seconds. I'll just say 10 seconds. You want to retarget people that watch at least 10 seconds of that video. And then you create the audience So now when you create the next ad, so right here is the tier 1. The second one is the retargeting, which is the audience we just created. And now we can create ads that are targeted to this audience. So they're getting a second glimpse of who you are. And this reiterates the know, like, and trust factor. So we call this the middle of funnel. And the kind of ads, let me see. Yeah, so the retargeting ads that you want to run are still content based. So if you run any training workshops, there's a couple agents and mortgage lenders out here that, or LOs that run trainings. That would be a great video. Even if it's like a 10-15 minute video, you just run another video views campaign and you retarget the people that are already engaged in you. You're just adding a second layer of content to like your ideal audience that watched it, and they're getting more information from you. So a good one is training workshops, open houses. You know, if you do a walkthrough through an open house, or you have an up and coming open house, you can run a retargeting ad to those people. Just listed, just sold, home value ads, that can also be a good one. And all of these are just ideas that you can run. You can run pretty much all these types of ads that'll get really good click-through rates, really good engagement. And then this is where you create the call to action, where you start generating those better leads because they're part of your audience and now they're ready to take action. And you'd be surprised, it doesn't really take a lot of touch points, especially when you have a big enough audience. It just, once you set this up, it'll pretty much run on autopilot. So tier 1, running the video views, is always bringing in new people. And it's basically a dynamic ad where once you create that custom audience, that video views audience gets populated over about 2 to 3 days. So once someone watches that, in the next like 3 days, they'll be added to the video views audience. And then all these ads will eventually show up on their feed very shortly after that, because we're retargeting them. So it works that quickly. So you're always getting fresh eyes and fresh people into your funnel. And you're running those at maybe $5 a day. Maybe you're running these retargeting ads at like $10 to $15 a day. And you're really maximizing your budget, and you're basically creating an audience of people that are starting to get to know you, like you, and trust you. So one of the best ones is like anytime you run a just listed ad, you'd probably run a just listed ad to that audience, and you would only need to run it for maybe 2 weeks. Just run it for 2 weeks. Let it, show your audience that you're actually an active agent and that you can actually, get listings. And once that listing sold, then you run a just sold campaign for like another 2 weeks. So these ads aren't run long-term. These are just short-term, maybe 2-week ads that you just run for like $200 during the time frame. So you don't need to really have a big budget for that, or maybe 150, at least a minimum of like 100 to 150 for either one of these ads. And then you start just kind of showing this to the right audience. And then the call to action is like, for the just listed, the call to action is either try to sell that home with your audience, or you try to bring in a new buyer with that audience saying just listed. Okay, you're not interested in this house? No problem. Are you in the market to buy? And then you start the conversation right there. So really these ads are meant to create conversations. So one last retargeting touch point is, if they engage with this second set of ads, you can retarget those ads based on the objectives. So for example, we can retarget people that watch the video. They're in your tier 2. Now, say you have a lead form ad you're running, say it's an open house, right? And you're like, hey, come join my open house, come do a walkthrough. I'll be here this Saturday, Sunday. And people open up the lead form, don't fill it out. They kind of bounce. Well, guess what? You can create an audience based on people that open up that lead form that you can also retarget to again. So this kind of brings it into another deeper layer, which is called the tier 3 audience. So for example, say for instance, they open up your home valuation ad, but they don't fill anything out. What you can do is you can, depending on how the campaign is set up, if you send them to a landing page, well, guess what? We can run a retargeting based on a pixel. So there's a lot of ways to do it. It gets more in depth right here, but this is just kind of the thousand mile high view, looking down. But this is where you run the ads to those people as well. So you get them deeper into your funnel and you're able to retarget them more effectively rather than, running a home valuation ad to a cold audience and letting Facebook do all the work. What you're doing is you're creating a funnel that is just this pipeline that just brings people in, shows them some content of what you're doing as a producer. And then at the very end, you give them an ad that's also like a call to action to take action today. And it could be tier 1 could be $5 a day, tier 2 could be $10 a day, and tier 3 could be, $20 a day. Now, depending on the audience, on how far they engage, Facebook may or may not spend that whole $20 a day on tier 3. It's only going to target the right audience that is based on the criteria. So it might only spend $10 of that 20 a day. But if you set it that way, then you kind of give Facebook the room to retarget effectively to them. So I just want to recap because I threw a lot of information at you. So basically tier 1 is you would run a video views campaign introducing yourself to the audience that you're throwing it out there to, get people interested in who you are, establish the know, like, and trust factor before they even want to do business with you. After that, you create an audience that grows over time automatically. So just those two alone, long-term, will help you build an audience that you can remarket to. Number 2 is you create the second ad and you target that audience that we just created. It established that, KLT. And then from there, it's just your second ad is just basically content that you establish maybe one every 2 weeks, and you're just putting out new fresh ads every so often. That way you're showing that you're an active agent in front of these people. And then number 3, the tier 3 is build another audience based on the people that took action on your second ad but didn't commit all the way, and you're picking up the stragglers that need one more extra little push in the right direction. So that's where that third ad comes in. And this ad can actually be a bigger ask where, hey, I'm giving away 5 free calls today to find out, or whatever it could be. It could be something, but it could be your biggest ask. In the e-commerce world, basically, video views would be just introducing the product. Tier 2 would be actually trying to get them to opt into an email list. And then an ad for 3 would just be like, hey, spend $100 to buy this product today. It's kind of that mentality, but different on the real estate side of things. So that's basically the 3 ads that all you need to build an effective funnel using any type of advertising platform. As long as you know how to create different audiences, it could be done over and over again on different, like TikTok's a little bit harder because you can't go into the actual areas. It's more national, statewide. It's not very, what I'm realizing, it's not very, Orange County specifically, or very local area. It's more of a broader scope. So if you're a lender and you're trying to get a hold of California, TikTok ads are better for you because you can do it remotely. Being an agent, more of a local realtor. So the types of platforms you want to use are things like Facebook and YouTube ads. So there's my information if you have any questions. Speaking about questions, and I realized that I didn't take out this bottom right corner. I did this I basically put this together in 2 days and thought it would be the most beneficial to you. So I just wanted to give you the content right away, and I didn't really look at all the imperfections at the bottom right. Any questions so far, by the way?
So no, but I think that just really ties in well with what we did last week, which was the the mindset of generating online leads and converting them and things like that. And I had talked about building up your pipeline, and this is, in my opinion, kind of an alternate way to get that pipeline rolling as well. If you're just running a simple, hey, if you love Temecula, like this page, to get the audience built up, well, now you're building an audience of people that like or love or live in the area that you're trying to be, the go-to agent in. So then every time you do something, a listing, a sale, if you want to run a little promotion or something like that, then you're targeting straight to those people, and to that audience that you built of Temecula lovers or whatever, it's going to resonate a lot better with that audience, and it's going to be easier for Facebook to serve it up to the right people that you're already targeting. So repetition, monthly basis, with the secondary ads, the retargeting, I think is it's a smarter approach rather than, hey, I'm just going to run the home value ad and whatever happens, happens, So, but you can be running it to the audience that you built then, because you're honing in. So that's really how you start getting your brand to stick over and over again. Because what's the average time people spend on Facebook, Leo? Do you know? Probably like 4 hours a day. I don't know.
Easily.
Yeah.
I run a lot of different chat bots and everything, and what I see is crazy. Like, I actually see more activity between 12 o'clock and like 2 o'clock. And I see a lot of activity 7 o'clock till like 10 o'clock. And the reason being is that's the time where either one, people are on their lunch break and they're just scrolling on their phones. And I literally see them opt into a funnel that I have, and the automation kicks in like a minute later because it's very quick. And they're like, oh, I can't right now, I'm at work.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you're just on your lunch break or some type of
Yeah.
break. So I see a lot of that. And at night when, you're getting, my phone's going off at 10 o'clock at night because we got a new lead in. Well, people are just hanging out on their phones, just scrolling aimlessly, and they see an ad and they're interested. And the thing about Facebook is where the attention's at. And it's where people are spending their energy, but they're not really there to find a solution. They're just there to basically get entertained or educated, but they're not there actively looking. Like if I'm actively looking on Google looking for a realtor, that's a different ball game. But if I have it on the back of my mind that like, oh, maybe I don't know if I want to sell, like that kind of stuff, I don't even know the first step of it, and you come across introducing yourselves and helping me on this journey, that's going to be way more effective because you're getting in at the beginning of the process, where that's where you're supposed to get in. You're supposed to put yourself basically you're trying to get in front of them so you can make them become problem aware or find out that you do have a solution. Because a lot of times people are on Facebook not looking for a solution. They're just on their, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
And then
well, no different than watching TV, I guess. You're either being entertained by the TV or the screen on your phone. Advertisers pay, to advertise their product during certain time slots of the day or certain channels because they know what that audience is at that time. That's how they've built their brand. With doing it at this method, you're building an audience and then constantly being in front of them afterwards with your ads. So they're basically just watching you the entire time they're on Facebook, because all of a sudden the commercial comes through, which is basically your ad scrolling through, So it's a very similar concept, in my opinion, as to how, people that advertise on television all throughout the years. I mean, ever since television came about and commercials, this is just kind of an alternate way to do it, but it's a very similar concept, in my opinion, of how that works.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm actually running for you, Travis. We have the basically the realtor lead ad to get more realtors attracted to the brokerage. And so I have one ad that's a simple, information. It's really well crafted that speaks to realtors, and we're trying to catch them right there and get them into our funnel process, which they opt in, and then they're in an email drip. They schedule a call with you. But a lot of people do open that up and don't take action, for whatever case. What I did was I set up a retargeting strategy for Travis, and I have people going from the website, anyone that opened the Facebook form, and we've been able to also get leads in through there as well. So just to kind of put it in perspective, though the normal leads cost like maybe $17 a lead right now, for any lead that comes in for like a real estate, because it's more of a high-end, client. So when you get that, yeah. So when you get that client in there, or when you get that lead in there, it costs 17. guess how much it costs to retarget and acquire someone that didn't commit on that first step, but is taking a second look and is like, hey, you know what? I think now's the time, perfect time. It's actually $21. So we're not actually increasing the ad cost. What we're doing is we're actually maximizing the budget. We're getting people that didn't commit on the first step, and we're bringing them in a little bit further down the road. But the ad cost isn't any more expensive. We're just picking up the stragglers.
Yeah, pretty much. So, and it's worked. I
And
mean,
it's always
it
about
took
being
a little
top of
while.
mind.
It took a little while to get the audience going. I mean, it probably took, it's a more defined audience, I think. But once we got it going, I mean, it's been pretty easy. I don't want to say it's on automatic 100% right now. I mean, Leo still does some work, but I'm sure it's much easier now than what it used to be, because we've got such a large audience built within Facebook for the company, that it's much easier to retarget that audience with what we want to tell them.
And what's even good about that too, as well, is if we wanted to, we can even create little micro ads where we retarget people that engage with the ad and just give them some content. Like, say there's a top producer that just, hit a milestone, or say we wanted to run, the review. We can run a review ad and get people to opt in. We can create small things of content that we can push out to even establish that even more. But we have this thing kind of on autopilot that's just working for the real estate side, or for the agents, that we don't really need to mess with
broker's open house or something. I mean, even that would work really well with the audience that we built currently. So even if, when someone from our team wanted to run a broker's open house, we could easily run that ad for them on the company's behalf, I guess, and target, the right audience 100%, basically, because we've got it dialed in so well now. So, but that's how we would be using it, on the agent, for you guys, it's becoming that local celebrity. So we did the same thing. I wouldn't say we're celebrities, but the name has definitely got out there pretty quick in the past 6 months once we started this campaign. And the team has grown super quick that way. And your business can grow the same way, just by simply doing the awareness ad and building the audience. And then every time you list, sell, run a promo, home value ad, I mean, you're mixing it up. They're going to see your name every single time, and it's going to be going right to that audience. So I don't think I guess the difficult part is putting it together, which really isn't too bad. I mean, that's kind of Leo's specialty, but the concept of it is pretty simple, and it definitely works, and it maximizes your budget.
And then there's even I guess you can call it a tier 4, or you just call it a revamp. Once you get a certain amount of people that actually either do business with you, or you get enough leads, we can actually create a lookalike audience that shows that we tell Facebook, okay, here's all the data I have. Do me a favor and find people faster that are similar to this. And Facebook's going to find the idea, because they have over 9,000 attributes on any one of us. And so they'll be able to go out there and find people a lot faster than we can that are most like your best clients. And once it becomes to that level, that's really when Facebook starts making you even more money. So the funnel process itself, you're kind of at a point where, you're getting business in there, you're really probably getting like a really good ROI on there, but it's not really launching you to another level. You start doing the special ad audience and create lookalikes and all that fancy stuff. That's when Facebook does its job, and it just kind of accelerates it to a new level. So that's kind of the little rocket you add onto your business. It does take a lot of data to get to that point. But once you're there, like, I think you need to get, like, if you're actually closing deals, I mean, you need probably 100 deals under your belt, just to be like, to get that type of client. You probably need to get like 500 to 1,000 actual emails and leads so you can break it up into different like tiers, I guess you can say. So if you get 1,000 emails from just running an ad campaign, those are 1,000 people that are making a commitment to opt in. Those emails you can put into Facebook, and Facebook's going to find more people just like those people to get more to lower your costs on opt-ins. Now, if you had 100, buyers or sellers, and you want to run like a certain ad, create a lookalike audience, a special ad audience based on your 100 best customers, then, once again, that'll enhance your ad even more. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have 100, clients. I don't know anyone that has 100 clients that you have emails on that bought or sold a home. That's kind of a lot. But if you do, that'd be kind of the next step.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, if anybody has questions on this stuff, contact Leo. I know a little bit about it too, but he's good on the technical stuff. I'm not good with the technical stuff, but I am good with the concept for sure. So
yeah, definitely. It's honestly like an easy concept. The hardest part
Yeah.
people get hung up on is they try to do too much. They don't simplify it,
Yeah.
in simple
We got to build the
terms.
audience first.
Create a video just introducing yourselves.
Yeah.
It doesn't get simpler than that.
Yeah. You just got to build the audience first. And then what you do with that audience is kind of endless after that. I mean, you're just going to continue growing the audience just like you would a database. Yeah. I mean, basically that's all it is, but it's within Facebook instead of within your CRM. They will get into your CRM eventually with your secondary ads and things like that when you start getting into better call to actions. But just creating the audience is really, really affordable. And you will find that, when you do want to, you should factor in a little bit of a marketing cost every time you take a listing or a sale. Maybe you're going to throw $100 at Facebook to promote it or something like that. Just build those costs in to your sales because that's reinvesting in yourself. And that will bring you more sales because you'll have your audience built already. So just keep that in mind. This is a great business builder. It is not next week you're going to be rich, but it is something that over time is going to pick up speed very, very fast. So, and it's a very affordable way to do it, in my opinion. Much cheaper than a TV commercial, that's for sure.
If you actually break down some numbers, if you do $5 a day on just a video introduction, that's $150 a month. Add that with a $10 ad that targets that audience, you're looking at $300 a month. So if you can allocate $450 a month and run the ads yourself, that's 450 people that, I mean, are you going to get leads? Probably not from the first one, but you're probably going to get it from the second one. And those leads, I mean, it's hard to do the numbers, but like I said, you have to test all the time. And really what it comes down to is these numbers aren't bad. I was actually able to get one of my clients, he just got a listing last week, listing contract signed. And we started off with an aggressive campaign because he wanted to get a seller listing as soon as possible. But now what he's going to be doing with that money is we're going to reallocate it into more branding efforts. So I always say, get a deal in. If you're doing 5 to 6 deals a year, then you can market for your branding budget. If you're just looking for that next deal, do this on social media organically. You can totally do this organically because if you do organic videos, you can still create a video views audience and select the videos you're doing on social media. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, okay, do a video views campaign on Facebook. It doesn't have to be that way. It just speeds up the process. But if you create say you're on Instagram and you create a video on Instagram, introducing yourselves. And what you do is you create a video introducing yourselves, and then you just let that video go organically and see where it takes you. And then you can use that video views. It's not going to be a ton of views, but at some point when you have a budget, you can reinvest that in and have Facebook speed up the process. So you can go back. You can go back on video views 365 days of the year. I like to target 180 days. 365 is just kind of a long process, but I try to do 180 days. But yeah, you can totally do this organically if you create video content. That's why everyone's saying video content is so important on Facebook, because you can actually retarget people that are engaging with those videos pretty well.
Yeah.
So
So it's just about having the plan, just kind of throwing something out here and there. Again, like some of the stuff we talked about last week. You want to be consistent with it, have a plan, and the top of the plan is build your audience first, and then from there, that's where you're going to see the leads with your secondary ads.
exactly.
So have that, have that mentality, have that plan in place, write it down, whatever you want to do. You can map it out. You can say, okay, video views ad is running continuously, and then I'm spending another, X amount of dollars on this for weeks 1 and 2 of the month, and this on weeks 3 and 4, or however you want to structure it out, but stick with it. And that's when you'll see, the repetition of this. Everybody, your audience is going to see it, and they're going to respond. They're going to start responding. That's when you're going to see the leads come in. And that's what's going to also feed into your CRM. Hopefully, if you have one, you should. And that's going to build your database there as well of the responses. So, and he says she posts into Facebook groups too. So yeah.
Yeah, I believe you can post, like, if you show up as the little caveat is you need to make sure you create videos on your business page. You can't do personal page videos because you can't get that data onto Facebook ads. So if you join a group as a business profile, then if you create a video and post it to that group, that video, you can retarget people that watch that video part of the group.
That's the useful thing of pages still. So
yeah,
is using it for these purposes, just posting something and maybe you don't get a lot of reactions or something like this, but there's deeper things you can do with your Facebook pages. And this is one of them, and how you use it. So for gathering data basically is what you're looking for.
And please don't ever boost the post.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah.
There's
so many conversations I've
ways.
had where people say Facebook ads don't work. I boosted a post and I got nothing in return. It's definitely not a marketing strategy.
Yeah, it's not. So, all right. Well, I think that was super informative. I know it's working for us. So digging into it a little bit if you're a DIY kind of person. There's plenty of stuff on YouTube about how to set up your audiences. Once you do a couple of them, it's really not that difficult. But if you'd rather have Leo do it because he knows the shortcuts and he can get it done much faster, give him a call. Like I said, he runs all of our stuff, and I'm a satisfied customer. So
I always say information's free, implementation for a slight fee.
Yep, exactly. So right on. Well, I hope everybody has a good week, and we'll see you on Wednesday. All right.
See you soon. Thanks, Travis.
All right.
Bye, everyone.